Hello, good morning students, and welcome back once again to another video for the class 9 gravitation chapter. So in the previous video we did the revision of the chapter up till the point where it is being asked in the syllabus. Okay. So previously it was the whole chapter, but because of the new guidelines the chapter gravitation has been reduced to half. The second half of the chapter where the buoyant force and everything, that has been cancelled out for this year. And so we start with the exercise of the chapter. And the first question is, how does the force of gravitation between the two objects change if the distance between them is reduced to half? So we know that the force of gravitation is affected by the distance, because the universal law of gravitation states that force is directly proportional to the product of masses and square of distance between them. So obviously if mass changes or if distance changes, then the force is affected. And in this case they are saying that if the distance is reduced to half, what will happen? So this is the formula from the universal law of gravitation, where G is the universal gravitational constant. Okay? So we are naming this force as force 1, and we are giving this distance as distance 1. Of course the objects are same, mass 1 and mass 2, that is why their masses are not going to change, but the distance is changing. So we need to find the second force F2. We need to find F2, and we have to see what changes does it bring if the distance is reduced to half. Okay? So let's say that distance d2 is half of distance d1, because that is what the question says. We are reducing the distance to half of the original. So we are dividing distance 1 by 2. Now obviously when we are finding the force F2, we need to use distance 2. So once again we apply the universal law of gravitation, that is F2 is equal to G into m1 m2 by d2 square. Now we are using the distance d2 because this is the second force where the distance is reduced to half. Now all you have to do is substitute the value of d2 in this equation. Okay? So F2 now becomes G m1 m2 by d1 upon 2 whole square. I hope it is clear to you students, quite easy and simple. Okay? Now open the brackets, quite easy. So F2 is equal to G m1 m2 by d1 square upon 4. So square is applied on d1 and 2, so 2 into 2 becomes 4. Now as you can see that this 4 is in the denominator of the whole denominator, that is why it will be multiplied in the numerator, very basic fractions. Okay? So F2 is equal to G m1 m2 into 4 upon d1 square. Now because everything over here is in multiplication, you can take this 4 over here in the very front. And why we are doing that you will see in a bit, that is 4 into G m1 m2 upon d1 square. Now look at this part of the equation, G m1 m2 by d square. What is this? This is our force F1, that is G m1 m2 by d1 square, and everything over here is in multiplication. Even the 4, you can imagine it to be 4 by 1 multiplied by G m1 m2 by d1 square, because everything is in multiplication. So you can just write 4 into G m1 m2 by d square. And what is G m1 m2 by d square? That is our force F1. So you substitute that value over here. So what you get is F2 is equal to 4 into F1. So if the distance is reduced to half, the new force F2 will be 4 times more than the original force F1. Very simple numericals, you just have to substitute the values. Because the distance is reduced to half, the new force will become 4 times more than the original force. I hope it is clear to you, students. I'll give you a time to observe and you can write it in the notebooks. Okay students, so let's move on to a second numerical. Okay students, another question for you. The gravitational force acts on all the objects in proportion to their masses. Why then heavy objects do not fall faster than the light object? The question states that the gravitational force between the two objects is dependent on the masses, correct? So if we are comparing a pen to a heavy object like a table or a stone, if we drop both of them, then why does it feel that both of them are actually falling with the same speed? And why is it that the heavy object do not fall faster? Or why does it not move faster? Because the gravitational force on that one is more. But if you see that the gravitational force F is equal to m into g, okay, where g is, as you know, g is equal to g into m of earth upon radius of earth square. So if I substitute this value of g, it will become our gravitational force, that is F into g, that is m into g, m of earth upon r e square, that is g m into m upon r square or distance square. So basically if I write this formula or this formula, they are basically the same. In short, I am substituting the value of this over here. And as you can see in this formula that F is equal to mg, it does not matter whatever is the mass of the object. Suppose this is the force F1 of the object mass m1 and this is the force F2 that is of the object mass m2 into small g, that is acceleration due to gravity. In both these cases, you will find that the gravitational force is different. Suppose if this object is of 2 kg and this object is of 20 kg. So obviously there is a lot of difference between the two. But in both the cases, you will see that the value of g, it remains the same. That is, acceleration is not going to change. So this part over here, this constant gives us the value 9.8 is not going to change. It will remain the same, and it does not matter even if you are comparing this smaller object to a size of a car or a truck. The acceleration will still remain the same. So acceleration is not dependent on the mass of the object. If the mass of the object changes, overall force changes, but the acceleration that is acting on the object will not change. Okay? It's simple. Imagine two vehicles moving together. One is a cycle and the other one is a motorcycle. They both are moving with same velocity. Okay? They both are moving with same velocity and same acceleration. If they strike a particular object, okay, then the force applied by cycle will be less and the force applied by a motorcycle will be more. But they both were moving with the same acceleration. But the force was different. So it doesn't matter. Whatever the acceleration, the force will be different. So the gravitational force is not dependent on the acceleration. Acceleration will remain the same. Okay? It will depend on mass if we are using this formula. Of course, it depends on the other object also, but we are talking about free fall. And when we are talking about free fall, we always talk about the mass of Earth, and that remains constant. So I hope it is clear to you, students. Let's move on to the next numerical. Okay students, another simple numerical for you. What is the magnitude of gravitational force between the Earth and a 1 kg object on its surface? So 1 kg object is placed on the surface of Earth. What will be the gravitational force on it? And the values are given. Mass of the Earth as 6 into 10 raised to 24 kilograms and radius of Earth as 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 meters. So there is nothing really to explain over here. We simply have to apply the formula of universal law of gravitation. So F is equal to G distance we are taking as the radius of Earth. Okay. Simply substituting the values, we know that the gravitational constant is given by 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 into mass of the object, that is 1 kg, into mass of the Earth, that is given as 6 into 10 raised to 24 upon radius of Earth, that is given as 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 whole square. Now this is our object, that is 1 kg, and any number multiplied by 1 is the number itself. So in the next step I am writing 1 over here in front. So observe this, 1 into 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 into 6 into 10 raised to 24 upon 6.4 into 10 raised to 6 whole square. As you can see over here that this is G m upon r square. Where have we heard about this? This is G is equal to G m upon r square. So all these values will give me, that is F is equal to mass, that is 1 into G m upon r square. We have already solved this part of the numerical when we found out the value of small g, that is G gravitational constant, mass of Earth and radius of Earth. So same thing is over here, G that is gravitational constant, m that is mass of Earth and r that is radius of Earth. And these things are not going to change. However, when this is given in the numerical, you will have to solve it step by step and show the calculation. Once you are done over here, write this 1 into 9.77 or 9.78, whatever answer that you are getting, you have taken. If you have taken the value of 6.67 or 6.7, you might be getting a little bit different answer, because the gravitational constant can also be taken as 6.7, because 67 is approximately equal to 70, and when we write 70 over here, that 0 is after decimal point, so you can neglect it and write just 6.7. So the gravitational constant can also be taken as 6.7 and 6.67. This is much more accurate. Similarly, mass of the Earth can also be taken as 5.98. Okay, so the values have been made approximate over here. So when you solve this, you will get the answer separately. I am writing 9.77, okay, or 9.78, and when you multiply this 1.97, you will get the answer same as it is, that is 9.77, or I can write F is approximately equal to 9.8 newtons. Very simple actually, students. This is nothing but the calculation of acceleration due to gravity, the one that we did in the derivation for the acceleration. Quite simple. We took the universal gravitational equation, and then we substituted the value of 1 kg mass and the other values, that is gravitational constant, mass of Earth and radius of Earth. Because this is 1, I am taking the 1 because then everything is multiplication over here, so it becomes easier for us to see the bigger picture, and that is gravitational constant, mass of Earth and radius of Earth, which is our acceleration due to gravity. Okay, this is just for your explanation purpose. When you solve this, we know that the answer will be equal to 9.8, and when you solve it accurately, you will get somewhat similar to this answer. Okay, and ultimately you can write this approximately as F is approximately equal to 9.8 newtons. I hope it is clear to you, students, because now we have multiplied this 1, and 1 into 9.8 is the number itself, that is 9.8 newtons. You cannot now write 9.8 meters per second square, because this is no longer acceleration. We have taken that acceleration and multiplied it with mass. Okay, and that gives you the answer 9.8 newtons. I hope it is clear to you, students. I'll give you a few seconds to write the answer in your notebooks.